We got a call from Cameron. I don't know where Cameron's from, but it says, my mortgage payment has gone up from $1,000 and it just recently went up another couple $100. Pretty timely with what Judy's question was, and I'm still debating whether or not I should keep the home. What does foreclosure do for a client? Can it benefit me in my situation? How long does it usually take? Okay. I think it's, what does foreclosure defense do? Okay. Here's where we're going with this one. Cameron's curious as to if he can't afford to make the payments. The payments have gone up. I don't know why. In today's market, the payments should have gone down. Maybe it was an adjustable rate mortgage. He didn't really get into that, or she didn't really get into that, so it's irrelevant. Let's say your mortgage payment's gone up and you can't afford it, and you're thinking about, what should I do? Well, I want everybody to consider mortgage modification right now. There is no reason you should just walk away from a home without trying to modify that mortgage in some way, shape, or form. Soapbox moment. Folks, you don't need anybody to help you modify a mortgage. Attorneys are not going to get a better deal than you. These law groups, these foreclosure, modification specialists, garbage, garbage, garbage. If the mortgage company is going to do something to help you, they're going to do something to help you whether you have an attorney or not. Now, don't sign it until you have an attorney review it, just to protect yourself. But you can make the phone calls. You can send them the information. I just talked to somebody today, spent almost $3,000 for somebody to help them modify the mortgage. 3 months ago, they haven't called the guy back once. They haven't talked to him. They haven't sent him any paperwork. But they did have him sign a contract, and they did collect his money, and they cashed the check. That's the kind of garbage you're dealing with out there. I don't like it. Attorneys are regulated by the Florida Bar, and we have ethical obligations to our clients. A lot of these jokers can just advertise anything they want. And I see some of the advertisements that come into the mail when people enter a foreclosure. You get served with a foreclosure paper, you're going to get mail, you're going to get letters from attorneys, you're going to get letters from bankruptcy attorneys, foreclosure attorneys, and you're going to get letters from these yo-yos out there who are claim to be foreclosure specialist or mortgage modification specialist. Garbage, garbage, garbage. An attorney has to have their advertisements approved by the Florida Bar. I have all my advertisements approved by the Florida Bar, and the reason why I do it is because the Florida Bar is out there to protect consumers. These other yo-yos don't have to do anything. They can just send out whatever they want, and they can make you promises 100% guaranteed to get a mortgage modification. Baloney. Baloney. Don't fall into it. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Trust me, folks, it's a scam. But back to this question from Cameron. Now, can you enter into what's called foreclosure defense? Foreclosure defense, fancy terminology, means you're going to fight the lawsuit because you think something's wrong with that lawsuit. And I would highly encourage anybody who gets a foreclosure complaint to go see an attorney. Make sure it's a free consultation. You shouldn't have to pay to see an attorney in today's day and age. Just my philosophy. But other attorneys charge for consultations. We don't. Anyhow, if you go see an attorney, here's what you need to be asking them. Number one, have you handled these types of cases before? Number two, what do you think my chances of success are? Number three, what are you going to charge me? Number four, do you think I can get this mortgage modified? That's the goal in any mortgage case. Oh, bye. Fastest half hour TV, folks. I've always said that. Next, when you go to see a foreclosure defense attorney, you want to make sure those things are in place before you ever sign a contract with them. Now, what happens in foreclosure defense? Let's talk about that for a minute. Well, if it's me, I'm going to challenge that mortgage all the way back to the time that you signed those papers. I want to see everything. I want to see the closing documents. I want to see any type of monthly statements that you've got. Anything out there that you could think of, I want. I want to see the whole picture. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge the lawsuit. I want to read the lawsuit. I want to read your mortgage. I want to read your promissory note. And I want to see what's in those. What exactly did you sign? And then we start the attack process. My goal in a mortgage foreclosure defense case is to get that mortgage modified, some way, shape, or form, to provide my client with the relief they want and they need to get them to stay in that home. I mean, giving back a home and walking away, in my opinion, is not a good thing unless that's what you want. And if that's what you want and you give me those marching orders, I'm going to go forward with that goal in mind. The next part of his question was, okay, can it benefit me in my situation? I'm going to be the first to tell you, Cameron, I didn't have enough information to make that determination. If you want to save that house and you're starting foreclosure, you might have the mortgage company on one side saying, yeah, we're going to work with you on the modification, and the foreclosure attorney's got their marching orders. Don't wait for that call one day when it says, I'm sorry, you need to be out of your house because they finished the foreclosure And over here, you got the mortgage company saying, oh, you know what? We never got those papers. Can you send them again? I bet you've all heard that story before. If you've tried to modify your mortgage, you've probably sent in your papers work no less than 3 or 4 times. No doubt about it. So, Cameron, I need a little bit more information. You could send it to me at questions@delutrylawgroup.com, and I'll be more than happy to follow up with this. I mean, I appreciate your question, but I need more information from you about your specific circumstances. What are the type of debts you have? What's your current job situation? Can you afford the house? Is the house worth saving? Tell me what the current value is and what you owe on the first mortgage. Without that information, I really can't get into it too much more. And then you said, how long does foreclosure take? Folks, this is the greatest mystery known to man, in my opinion. We are defending cases where they're going after a house gangbusters, a little house in Cape Coral. I mean, literally, a mortgage company going after this house like gangbusters, and it's $150,000 upside down. Alternatively, I've got cases where nothing's been done. I mean, by the mortgage company, they've basically forgotten about it, and 6, 7 months goes by, and I don't hear anything from them. And it's kind of peculiar because some houses have equity in them, some houses are worth foreclosing on, and then some houses that are not worth foreclosing on, they shouldn't even want them back. They're pursuing it like gangbusters. So there's really no rhyme or reason when it comes to how long foreclosure is going to take. I've got cases that are 6 months that go by and we can get a modification. I've got cases that are in the process 3 years and we're still fighting the mortgage company. Eventually we're going to get a modification, but 3 years it took because nobody can make a decision. You ask them to modify it and nobody can make a decision. So what the homeowners do is continue to live in the property, continue to save up their money, because eventually if we can modify the loan, then we might need a big chunk of change down. But that's one of the strategies we employ to try to entice the mortgage company to give them that modification that they need. So it was a great question, Cameron, about how long foreclosure takes. And a little segue on that is now in Lee County, Charlotte County, Collier County, all the courts are getting fed up with these foreclosures taking a long time. Recently, a law firm was sanctioned over on the East Coast to the tune of about $49,000 for setting hearings and then not attending to them. I think the judges are finally getting ticked off about all the foreclosures, and it's basically a paralegal service. The paralegals push these cases through. You have maybe one attorney handling several hundred, maybe several thousand files, who knows, and there's really nothing there for them.